Welcome back to the CHAZTIIIZED YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. And today we have a bit of a serious topic that I'd like to address. And here are some opening thoughts regarding the matter. So, in the age of virality, we often chase the moment, but what happens when the moment becomes our legacy? Today's topic, as you've seen, is who we are when the cameras turn off. I got a couple of talking points I'd like to talk to you guys about if you don't mind. Now, in our age, I'm roughly 35 now, so I've lived through the infancy of YouTube and Vine, and Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, the list goes on. All of these things that have been created throughout the years. And one thing that remains is that the internet never forgets. With every post, with every video, this becomes part of a permanent digital footprint lasting until eternity. So, what starts as a joke or reaction can become a defining moment for months, seasons, and even years for some. And that's what I want to talk to you today about because we have someone that comes to mind. One moment. If you look at this gentleman to my right, this is Antoine Dodson. Many of you guys remember him from the hide your kids, hide your wife, how that became a meme back when he had a full head of hair. I don't even think he had a goatee. He was younger at the time. Anyways, but it has now become his identity in the public eye. So, one thing I want to speak on today, and I'm going to play a short clip from Wise. He's now doing camera advertisements. But one thing I want to speak on today is the difference between virality and value. What is the difference in those? And as I load this video up, I want you guys to take a few moments to think of the price that we pay for virality.
Hi, I'm Antoine Dodson, the hide your kids, hide your wife guy. Do you ever wonder what happened to me? You should never wonder. Ever since my viral video, I've been acting, singing, hosting events, and I made a ton of cash. But I blew all that money, so now I'm a CDL driver. That's just a fancy way of saying that I'm a garbage man. Life's been slowing down. I have a 10-year-old son, and I've been taking care of my grandma. She has been struggling with cancer, and she could barely get out of bed. I had to make sure she had everything she needed. I did everything for her. I'm trying to support my son and my grandma. That means I'm out of the house a lot.
Oh, he still got the ponytail. Yeah, so we'll pause for a little bit and we'll get back to Anton here in a second. So let's talk about virality versus value. The viral fame can open doors, but not always the ones that we expect. So, yes, he is doing an ad for Wise, but why do they really need to emphasize his current life? To relate or to humiliate? I don't really know. I'm not really too certain. But in his recent ads, he shows how internet fame can be monetized, but it also how it can pigeonhole him into becoming a caricature. If you guys don't know what a caricature means, for those of you in the back, a caricature is just essentially a character of yourself, a portrayal, typically cartoonized, overly exaggerated, and now he has to play this part. Even in this ad, fast forwarding about 10 years into his life, he still is having to represent himself in this regard. And I don't want that for people, and that's why we're talking about it today. So, are we building a brand or are we becoming a brand? There's a cost associated with these moments. I mean, there's nothing against blue collar work and actually getting out and doing the jobs that keep the world spinning, but at what cost? I don't believe that he actually cashed out on his moment. Fame from a singular moment can overshadow growth, change, and nuance. Monetization doesn't always equal fulfillment. Is the bag worth the long term perception? Just something to think about. But when you are offline, who are you? The person we present isn't always who we are. When the cameras are turned off, who do we become? Who do we want to be remembered as? Not to go too morbid, but I always tell my friends, close friends, to start thinking about that eulogy. Think about what they're going to say when you have no say and your casket drops. Authenticity matters more than ever in a world of filters and personas. So I say all this to say we're going to get back to Anton, but you need to be intentional.
Luckily, I got Wise Cam. Wise.
Okay, I just want you guys to just let this moment sink in. Okay.
Grandma. That means I'm out of the house a lot. Luckily, I got Wise.
Look at his face. How much do you think they paid him for this? I'm sorry.
Wise Cam let me see anything I want from miles away. From right here on my phone. I can see my son getting home from school on the doorbell cam. I can definitely use the outdoor cam and the floodlight to make sure nobody is climbing in my windows and snatching my people up or my packages. Or the camera can record events and I can watch them later. So when my grandmother tell me she takes her medication, I can go back and watch that video to see if she's lying. My grandmother, she wasn't expected to live, but then we got some good news. We found out that her cancer was gone and that her bones was beginning to heal. Wise makes it so you never wonder. You just know. Wise Cam keep me and my family safe from bed intruders. You don't have to hide your wife no more, or your husband. Or your husband.
The look on his face, bro. All right, let's get this man off the screen. Okay, remember, be intentional with the identity that you're building. Okay, be deliberate with your digital presence. Every post is a brick for building your public persona. Ask yourself, would I be proud of this in 5 years? Or should I start deleting this? Should I start rebranding? Should I start creating different backup pages? Build a legacy, not just a moment. And so reflecting back on Mr. Antoine Dodson, he didn't ask to be a meme. He didn't ask to be a meme. But the internet made him one. And today, he's still cashing in. But at what cost? Look at this face. At what cost? This isn't about judgment. It's about reflection. Because one day, we'll all log off. And when we do, the question remains, who were we really? So with that being said, I appreciate y'all's time. If you like what you saw, like what you heard, hit the subscribe, leave a comment. I'm Chaz, and you've just been chastised.